What's going on, guys? This is your boy John the Liquidator coming back with a major story. So it looked like there is some new information coming out about the WNBA $700 million deal. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to New York. Let's get it. Let's go. The WNBA is on the cuffs of getting this deal done. Now, more information is starting to come out the pipeline in regards to the CBA agreement. A lot of money is being involved, man. So, look like Sports Business Journal has released an article detailing.
The WNBA owners just dropped a shocking bombshell, revealing a massive $700 million pay gap inside their new CBA proposal, leaving players stunned and putting the entire 2026 season in serious danger. This wasn't a rumor or insider gossip. This was the league's harsh reality exposed for everyone to see, showing just how wide the gap is between what players are demanding and what owners are willing to pay. Now, with Adam Silver overseeing the fallout, the pressure is exploding. The clock is ticking, negotiations have gone quiet, and fans and players are left in suspense, unsure if the future of the season is about to collapse.
Sports Business Journal has released an article detailing the inner workings of this whole situation. Now, reports were starting to come out that Breanna Stewart was telling everybody that a deal was close to being done, but we don't know the exact deal. Now, something I thought about the other day was that early on, I heard that the WNBA players wanted Kathy Engelbert to no longer be the commissioner to be part of the deal. Now, we don't know exactly if she's still going to be there after this deal gets signed. I would expect Kathy Engelbert to possibly move on, allegedly, after the CBA deal get done. Man, let's head on over.
This explosive revelation didn't come from locker room whispers. It came straight from a major sports business publication that pulled back the curtain on the ongoing CBA negotiations. The article confirmed what many feared. The WNBA is now standing on the edge of a financial showdown unlike anything in league history. With hundreds of millions of dollars separating the two sides, this is no small disagreement. The size of this gap is historic, leaving many wondering how such a massive divide could ever realistically be closed.
After the CBA deal get done, man, let's head on over to X real quick and pull up this article that has come out, because it is a shocker. I ain't lying, bro. I did not know they was talking about that much money. Wow. So Sports Business Journal stated the WNBA released its 2026 schedule Wednesday, but just because there are no dates on the calendars doesn't guarantee, just because there are now dates on the calendar doesn't guarantee there will be players on the floor, bro. This is shocking.
Adding even more tension, new information has leaked about the progress of the CBA talks, revealing deeper conflicts behind the scenes. Early reports suggested a deal was getting close, but the real details were never fully clear. Now, with the true scale of the pay gap exposed, it's clear those early updates may have downplayed how serious the disagreements really are. What the league says publicly appears very different from what's happening in private. This leak confirms negotiations are far more intense and hostile than anyone was led to believe.
Or no dates on the calendars doesn't guarantee, that just because there are now dates on the calendar doesn't guarantee there will be players on the floor, bro. This is shocking. It says inside the WNBA's $700 million plus pay divide with players union, bro. Let's pull up this article, because this right here is going to tell us everything we need to know. So the article goes on to say, months into CBA negotiations, the WNBA team and athletic union representatives agree on this. For the first time, women's basketball.
An earlier and still unconfirmed twist adds another layer to this drama. A long-running rumor claims players wanted Commissioner Kathy Engelbert removed as part of any new deal. While never officially confirmed, this rumor highlights just how deep player frustration may run. Some now believe her departure could happen once a new CBA is signed. If true, this would show the fight isn't only about money, but also about leadership, control, and the future direction of the entire league.
Now, we know the women has been wanting to get what? Their piece of the pie, they say. Now, the WNBA has now created its own proposal model. While its latest offer would give players the equivalent of 70% of net revenue based on current projection, rising from 65% to 80% over the course of the deal. Then it goes on to say, in response to reporting, the WNBA proposal will lead to significant losses for the league. Now, that's what they've been saying, right? They've been saying, hey, if we give y'all what y'all want, we ain't gonna have.
The Sports Business Journal made the situation even more chilling. Even though the WNBA released its 2026 schedule, there is no guarantee players will actually be on the court. That statement alone shows how serious this standoff has become. What is normally a moment of excitement now feels like a warning sign. The schedule is nothing more than a paper promise if a deal isn't reached. A lockout is no longer a distant threat. It is a very real possibility.
We know the WNBA has been working pretty much being, what I'm about to say, bankrupt. Basically, they in a loss. I think they lose anywhere from $50 to $70 million every WNBA season. Now, at this top part right here, it said the two offers remain far apart in its projected salary figures, though not as far apart as earlier suggestions. Over the course of the potential CBA, the union's proposal would likely see more than $700 million extra flow to players compared to the league's latest offer. So,
At the center of this dispute is a historic agreement that both sides actually accepted for the first time. Player pay should be directly tied to how much money the league truly earns. This was once thought impossible, yet both teams and the union finally agreed on this basic idea. But that agreement quickly fell apart when the real details came into play. The formula, the numbers, and how revenue is calculated have become a brand new battlefield, turning what looked like progress into another major conflict.
Proposal would likely see more than $700 million extra flow to players compared to the league's latest offer. So $700 million is on the table here, bruh. Now, the average is up from 120 to 250,000. That's the average salary. And yeah, man, it's just looking very, very interesting. Everything that has transpired with this CBA agreement. I'm glad that we're starting to get a little bit more information about this. Exactly.
The deadlock now centers on two completely different financial models. The league wants to base pay on total gross revenue, which looks bigger but allows more deductions later. This approach gives the league more control and flexibility, but the players strongly oppose this. They believe gross revenue can hide real growth and limit their earning potential. This disagreement over how money is measured has become one of the biggest roadblocks in the entire negotiation.
Rhetoric out there, bro. People say a lot of stuff on this damn internet, but I don't think it's going to be a lockout. Now, moving on to another story, we got to talk about our girl, CC. So, Caitlin Clark is taking time out of her day to like people on Twitter's posts. So, this is Sierra. She stated, "Happy birthday to my GOAT, Caitlin Clark. Catch you again this summer, this time with you playing." So, this was her signing some stuff here. Trying to think, was this at a game? But make a long story short, Caitlin Clark did like this post.
The Players Union fired back with a much more aggressive counteroffer. They want players to receive around 70% of net revenue, with that number rising from 65% to as high as 80% over the life of the deal. This would represent a massive long-term investment in player salaries. The league responded by warning that such a deal would cause huge financial losses and could even bankrupt the WNBA. This same argument has been used for years, with the league claiming it loses between $50 to $70 million annually. Players, however, question how accurate those numbers really are and believe the league is downplaying its true growth. Despite agreeing in principle to tie pay to revenue, the two sides are still shockingly far apart. Over the life of the CBA, the union's proposal would send an extra $700 million to players compared to the league's offer. That massive difference is the heart of this entire crisis. Under the union plan, average salaries could jump from around $120,000 to $250,000 per year, a life-changing increase for many players. Now, the threat of a lockout looms over everything. The 2026 schedule exists, but player participation is far from guaranteed. Some insiders believe a lockout can still be avoided because both sides understand how damaging it would be, especially with the WNBA's recent surge in popularity. A lockout now could destroy momentum, hurt long-term growth, and push fans away. With growing public pressure, media attention, and Adam Silver closely watching, both sides are under intense scrutiny. The final decision will not only determine the fate of the 2026 season, but also send a powerful message about the true value of women's professional basketball. This $700 million battle is about more than money. It's about respect, growth, and the future of the entire league.